Hi students, let us continue with the languages that are used in the structured query language. So far I have explained about the data definition language, data manipulation language, and now let us see what is DCL, data control language. For the commands that are used in data definition language are create, drop, alter, rename, and truncate. Whereas for data manipulation language, insert, update, delete, and the select. Now let us see what are the commands that are used in the data control language. Actually, the main use of this data control language is to control user access. So the name itself is indicating this language is mainly used for controlling the tables. So it control user access in a database. And related to the security issues also. Why we are controlling the database? Related to security issues. So the main use of the database table is to maintain the records securely, and the huge amount of data that wants to be stored that can't be used by the files. So instead of storing the data in the files, we will use that database to store the files, to store the data. So if you want to store any data, you need some security. So without security, we can't put the important data that is related to the organization. Okay, so for that you need some security access. So this control language, data control language, is used to control user access. Means the person who has the permissions to view the database or to modify the database, that person can only enter the database. Means he can access the database. Okay, so for that you need some permissions. So the permissions will given by the administrator who is created the monitoring the complete entire database. Okay, so with the help of the username and the password, every user can access, the user who has given a permission, that user can access with the help of username and the passwords. So those username and passwords are nothing but the control user access in a database. It allows to restricts the user from accessing data in database schema. So that I said. So the main use of this DCL is to allow the restrictions to the user from accessing the data in database. Now what are the commands that are used to control the user access? So those are the grant and revoke. So the names are saying that grant means the administrator is granting the permission to the user to access the database, whereas revoke means releasing the permissions. Means if the person is about to quit that organization, you have to release the permissions to access those database. Means you're updating the control access. Means you're updating the usernames and the passwords, and you're giving permissions to the another with the help of the revoke. So grant is giving the permissions, revoke means releasing the permissions. So now let us see what is a grant command. The grant command, it gives user access privileges to the database. The syntax for this is, so then what will be the syntax for this? You have to write the keyword command grant. Next, the privilege list means you want to you want to allow the person to access complete database, or you want to allow the person only to view particular rows in the table, okay, particular fields in the table, only particular tables in the database. So that is a privileged list. Grant privileged list on relational name is table name, relation name or view name, to the person to whom you want to give the permission to access the database. So this will be given by this grant permission will be given by the administrator who is accessing, who is having the control on database, the complete privileges that are there for person. That person can give this privilege. Now let us see the example for this. So here I'm grant all. So the privilege list here I'm saying as all, means the user can access complete database. Grant all on employee. So only on employee table he can do all the fields, means he can access all the fields, he can update all the fields, or he can change, he can do modifications on the tables. Employee table, grant all on employee to ABC person. Okay, so with grant option. So this is a syntax. So here user ABC has been given permission to view and modify the records in employee table. So this is about the grant. Now let us see the next command, that is revoke. So once the user has given a permission to ABC to access the employee table, means now he can update the table, he can delete the table, or if you want he can modify the table, he can insert the values in the table whenever he given the permission on employee table. Now the revoke command. What this revoke command will do? So it is used to cancel previously granted or denied permissions. So the revoke means, so previously I granted a permission to the ABC. Now I can cancel the permission to that ABC person. So this revoke command is used to cancel previous granted permission or denied permission. So suppose you block one person. Okay, suppose if you want to give the permissions to that person, you can give with the help of the revoke command. So all the denied permissions will be released, and that person can granted to access the database with the help of the revoke. So the granted can be released, the released person can be granted. So granted will be released and released will be granted only with the help of the revoke command. Okay, so that is the use of the revoke command. Now let us see the syntax for this. Syntax: revoke privilege list. So just like grant, but instead of grant command you have to write revoke. That is the only difference. On relation name or view name from particular username. So example for this is revoke update on employee table from user. So the user is ABC. Okay, so this is about the revoke command. So these revoke and grant commands are used as a data control language commands. Thank you.